Good morning, students. Welcome to Python class. In today's class, I'll explain you about tuples. Okay, so what are the tuples, how to create a tuple, and what are the functions available in Python to manipulate the tuples that we'll discuss today. See, actually, tuple is nothing but it is like a variable only. It is like an array. It stores elements of different data types. See, like it is similar to list. Okay, tuple is similar to list. But what is the difference between this list and the tuple is immutable. Immutable means once if you have defined, when you have created one tuple, that can be modified, that cannot be modified means new values cannot be given. Okay, and if you are adding a new value, that a new tuple will be stored in a separate place, so that is called as a immutable, right? We cannot see here. I have given the definition. The difference between the two is that two is here is nothing but your list, and the tuple is that we cannot change the elements of the tuple once it is assigned, whereas we can change the elements of a list. If you have created a list, it is easy to change the elements of the list, but if you have created any tuple, it is difficult to modify the elements, change the elements which you have defined in a tuple. Okay, means it is a fixed, and if you are adding any element, if you are deleting an element, whatever new tuple is there, no, that is stored in a separate place, but original values and original tuples will not, original elements will not change, so that is called as a immutable. So tuple is a immutable, right? Creating a tuple, so as I already explained, it is similar to list. So how you create a list, in the same way we create the tuple, right? And in a tuple, what happened is whatever elements are there, that elements you can put in a brackets, or you can give a list of elements by separating a comma. It is not compulsory that to give the brackets. It is, these are optional, but if you give a brackets, it will be convenient to access the elements of the tuple. Okay, have you created a table? Have you created a table? No, in the same way you create the tuple. So the list of elements will be enclosed in a double in a brackets, and each and every element should be separated by a comma. Okay, so now come to example here. Tuple equals to Python geeks have given two elements and two or of a string have given. If you want to give a new different elements, you can give. Now the next one is tuple indexing and slicing. See, as already explained, tuple is similar to a list. Okay, or we can say that a tuple is a collection of elements. If a tuple is a collection of elements, each and every element is identified with the index number. Okay, see, array you have an index number, no, and which starts from a 0 and which ends at the length minus 1. Similarly, whatever elements are there in the tuple, that are indexed, and that index starts from a 0 and it will end at length minus 1. Okay, next whatever elements are there in the tuple, that index number is accessed by using a square brackets. This is the index operator, that is the two square brackets, no? So you can access easily by using that index operator. Okay, and when you are extracting any element from the tuple, then you can use a slicing. Okay, only one thing you need to remember is whatever elements are there in the tuple, that are identified with the index. Okay, and index starts from a 0 and it will ends at length minus 1. Okay, now here you see we have a tuple 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 have given. So what is the length of the tuple total? How many elements are there in this tuple? 6 elements are there, and 0 index number is a 0, 1 index number is a 1, 2 index number is a 2, 3 index number is a 3, like that. Okay, so means each and every element is identified with the index number. See here, and the next one is the slicing. Already I have explained the slicing. Slicing means it's nothing but extracting part of a tuple. Means example, if you have a 5 elements, I want only the first 3 elements, or I want the second 3 elements. So part of elements you are extracting, then we'll use a slicing. Okay, so that process is called as a slicing if you are extracting part of elements from the available elements. Okay, so in Python, slicing is possible by using a colon. Okay, so slicing is possible by using a colon. From where to where you want to extract an element, you need to give the starting position and you need to give the ending position. So whatever elements there in between, that are extracted. Okay, now here you see in this example, tuple 0 to colon I have given, 0 to colon, and ending I have not given. So if you have not given ending, you know what it means, whatever elements are there from starting to ending, all those elements are printed on the screen. Now the second one, you see, only colon I have given, so all the elements are printed. Now the next one is a 2 to 4. So I want elements from 2 to 4. So whatever elements are there in between, only that elements are printed. Means 2 is a starting, 4 is the ending. When you are including a 4, no, that will be excluded. Okay. Now 1 comma 3, between a 1 comma 3, how many elements are there? 1 comma 2, because the ending is excluded, right? The next one is a tuple colon 4. So ending I am giving, starting I am not giving. Then what happened? Till that ending, whatever elements are there, that are printed on the screen. So it is a 4, no? So 0 to 4 elements are printed. 0, 1, 2, 3 will be printed. As I already explained, the ending is not included, right? Now here you see example program. I have created one tuple. I want to extract 1 to end. So 1 colon. Next I want to extract 0 to 3. Colon 4. So 1 comma 5, whatever elements are there, that are extracted. 4 elements are extracted. 0 to 6. 0 to 6 colon 2 I have given, means every alternative number I want, and that whatever elements you are printing, no, that should be between a 0 to 6, like a 2, 4, 6. 2, 4 will be printed because 6 is excluded. Okay, so this is a slicing. Now indexing. Negative indexing also already I have explained at the time of a list. When you are accessing an element from left to right, the index is a positive. But when you are extracting elements from right to left, then index number is a negative index. Okay, positive means left to right, negative means right to left. So in the list, if you want to access any elements from right to left, then we'll use a negative index. See, here I have given definition. The tuple element can also accessed by using a negative index. The index of -1 denotes the rightmost element, and -2 is the second last item, and so on. So if it is a minus, means what? It is from a right to left. Okay. Now here you see the example. Tuple I have given. How many elements we have? 5. And I am extracting tuple -1. 5 is printed. -4, 4 is printed. -3 to -1. So -1 to -3 means 0, 1, 2. 5, 4, 3 will be printed, because you need to count from a right to left. Next to -1, the last element. Next to -2, the second element. Okay, so like this, you can access an element in a positive method, and you can access an element in a negative method. If you are using a positive index, positive numbers, then it is a positive index. If you are extracting any element from a right to left, that is a negative index. Okay. The next one is a deleting. See, after creating a tuple, if you want to delete any element, then we'll use the del operator. Using that, you can delete an element from a list. Here you see the list. Now, first I have given 6 elements, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Next I am printing that. After that, del tuple 0. So the first element is removed. Next I am printing after removing the first element, that is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Next del tuple 1. Tuple 1 total tuple is deleting. whatever tuple is there, no, that is deleting. Next, concatenation operation. Concatenation means what? Joining two strings. So joining two strings, two tuples, sorry. Concatenation means here will create two tuples, and that two tuples can be added. Okay. So when you add, the second tuple element, the okay. Now the next one is a finding length of a tuple. Length means total how many elements are there in the tuple. That you can find out by using a len function. Okay, here len stands for a length. Okay, so we can find the length of the tuple using the len function. Len tuple 1. Now the next one is a membership. Membership means we'll check whatever element is there, no, that is there in the tuple or not. In or not in, both are the length function, membership functions. If it is a in means whatever element you are searching, it will check whether that element is there in the list or not. If it is there in that tuple, you will get a true. If it is not there, then you will get false. Okay. So here actually we have two membership operators, that is a in and the second one is a not in. In checks whether whatever element you are searching that is there in the tuple or not. If it is there, then you will get a true. If it is not there, then you will get a false. And not in is opposite. It will search for an element whether the element is there in the list or not. If it is not there, then you will get a true. If it is there, then you will get a false. It is opposite to the in. So total how many membership operators are available? Two membership operators available, that is in, the second in. Or not, get a false. And not in, it will check for the element. If it is there, you will get a false. Find the length of the string. Okay, so here how many elements we have? 4 elements. What is the tuple here? 4. So that is printed on the screen. Next, maximum. See, what is a max function? Largest element from the tuple. So what is the largest element in the tuple that you can print? When this method will work if it contains only the values of same type. For example, if you have one integer, one character, then it is possible to find which is the largest one. So if whatever elements are there, if all the elements are of the same data type, then it is easy to find, and this method will work properly. Okay, if you are using a mixed type, it is difficult to find which is the biggest element. Okay, so max function is used to find the maximum, the largest element in the tuple. Okay, so the largest element in the tuple you can find out by using the max function, but it is a condition that in the max function all the elements should be of type in a tuple, then it is easy to find. See here in this example, T1 tuple I have given 10, 20, 30, 40. Total 4 elements are there. Now I want to find which is the largest element in the tuple. So 40 element in the tuple. So that is printed on the screen. The next one is the minimum element. This is also same. So as max method is used to find the largest element in the list, the min element is used to find the minimum, the smallest element in the list. Okay, and this method is also work when all the elements of same data type. If elements are of a different data type, then it is difficult to find the small element. So this is exactly similar to max function. But max function, what it will do, it will find the maximum largest element. Min function is used to find the minimum element. See here syntax, minimum tuple. Same syntax, here you have an example program, no? Here you can implement, instead of the max, you can give the min. So when you give the min, no, then what happens? It will print the minimum value, smallest element from the list it will print, smallest element from the tuple it will print. The next one is the index. Okay, what is the use of this method? In the name itself you have a definition, right? This method is used to find the first index position of a value in a tuple. Okay, so it is whenever you will give the index method and inside the bracket if you will give the value, no, so this method will find the starting index of the given element. Okay, so if you have a 5 or 6 numbers and I want to find out one number index, just you need to give the index number of that particular value. Then just you give the character, this index method will find the index number of the given character or a given number. Okay, so index method is used to find the index value of a given number or a given value in the tuple, right? Here you see the example. One tuple I have created. What is the tuple name here? T1. How many elements are there? 6 elements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 elements are there. Now I want to find out what is the index number of the 18. Okay, 18 is the element and I want to find out the index number of the 18. Then see what method I am implementing here. T1 dot index. T1 is a tuple. Index method I am using, which is used to find the index number of a given value. So what is the value here? 18. So index method finds the index value of 18. That is the one is printed because as already explained, index starts from a 0. So the index number of 18 will be a 1. Okay, once you see the program. The next one is the count function. What is the use of the count function? See example, we have a one tuple. In the tuple, there are number of elements and one element can be repeated number of times. So I want to check how many number of times that element is repeated. That you can find out by using a count function. Okay, so count function is used to count the number of occurrences of a given number. Okay, so what is the use of the count function? Count function is used to find number of occurrences of a given number. Right, here I have given C syntax is tuple dot count. Here you see the example. Here I have given one example tuple, that is T1. T1 equals to 13, 18, 11, 16, 18, 14. So there are 16 elements in the tuple. So I want to check how many number of times the 18 is present in the tuple. Then T1 dot count. T1 dot count, in the bracket I am giving 18. So what will be your answer? 18 appears 2 times. So your answer will be 2. Okay. Now the next one is the nested tuple. Nested tuple means you can insert one tuple inside the another tuple. So this type of concept already I have explained a list also, nested list. Okay, so if you are creating a nested list, what we did in the hierarchy, we created list, right? Means in the main list with the 2 braces, we created a one more list. Similarly, in one tuple, create another tuple. So that tuple is called as a nested. There is also a concept called nested tuple. Nested tuples are the tuples which comprises a group of tuples. Okay, if one tuple contains another tuple, then that is only. So how to create this? You see, creating a nested tuple is almost similar to the creating a tuple. Here a tuple is considered as one of the element in a nested tuple. Nested tuple. Okay, so whatever nested tuple you are creating, that should be inside the another tuple. See in this example, T is the main tuple. Here A, E, I, O is one element. One is one element, comma, brackets, vowels, comma 5, comma 2, comma 9.8, closing bracket. So whatever this bracket is there, no, that is a one more tuple. So here we are creating a one tuple inside the another tuple, no. So this is called as a nested tuple. Right? The next one is how to insert element in a tuple. See, if you want to insert an element in any, given position, then what we'll do, we'll use the insert function. Okay, so what is the use of the insert function? Insert function is used to insert an element at a given position. Okay, so what is the index? In which place you want to insert an element and what is the element? Okay, so if you'll give the index number, whatever element you want to insert, no, that element will be inserted at that particular position. Okay, so example, if I want to give any position that where element will be inserted, it is difficult. So that is why whenever you want to insert any element, then you need to give the position where you want to insert. That position is given by using a index number. So that is why in insert method, the first parameter is a index and the second parameter is a element. Okay, see here in this example program, list 1, actually it is a tuple name is a list I have given here, 1 comma 2 3 like that, total 7 elements are there. List 1 dot insert, in the fourth position I want to insert an element 10, so 10 is inserted at the fourth position, right? So this is about list in a Python. Okay, so whatever I explained, just I will revise once. Okay, tuple is nothing but it's a collection of elements only. That elements can be of different data types. Okay, it is similar to list, but it can store more than one element of the same data type. But whatever tuples you create now, that are immutable. Means once you have created, that cannot be. If you are applying any modification, a new tuple is created and that will be stored in another location. So like it within a bracket or elements can be means tuple can be created within a brackets, and each and every element can be separated by a comma, and without a bracket also you can create a tuple. Just whatever elements you want to store, that elements are created means stored, and each and every element should be separated by a comma. Okay, and in a tuple each and every element is identified with the index number, and you can extract a part of a tuple by using a slicing. For that, this you can see. In order to slice, we'll use the colon operator. Starting, ending will keep. Okay, so in the tuple, elements are identified with the index number, and that index numbers you can give from a left to right or right to left. If you're using left to right, that is a positive index. If you are using if you are extracting an element from right to left, that is a negative index. If you want to delete any element from the list, from the tuple, you can delete by using a del function. Concatenation means joining two tuples. Finding a length, len function is used to find the length of the string. Next, max function is used to find the largest element in the tuple. Min function is used to find the least element in the tuple. Index is used to find the index value of a given element. Count is used to count the number of occurrences of a given element. Nested queries, nested tuples, we can create one tuple inside another tuple. Okay, and the last one is the insert function. Insert function is used to insert an element at a given position. Means you need to give the index number where you want to insert an element and what is the value. That information also if you should give. So when you give the index number and the value, then what happened, that particular value whatever you are giving, no, that is inserted at the given position. Okay, so that is possible by using a insert. So this is about tuples. In the next class we'll discuss about one more topic. Thank you.